Hello boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you the next patch, Echoes of the Fallen Star 5.2. And this patch will launch at 18 February of 2020 on a Tuesday, as usual, reset day. So let's get into the patch. With the launch of 5.2, we will have new main scenario quests, new tribe quests with this tribe called the Qatari, and this patch will be focusing on gathering in more ways than one. So we start with the new Chronicles of a New Era quests called the Sorrow of Wurlet. Not sure if I pronounced that right. And then we'll have a new quest series for upgradable equipment coming out on patch 5.25, which I strongly suspect and then confirm it later on. This will be our relic quest. We will have one new dungeon called Amnesis Anadr, probably butchered it again. The new trials will consist on the Cinder Drift, which is basically Ruby weapon for Final Fantasy VII players. Its extreme version, and there will be a new trial pertaining to the 5.25 equipment quest that they have not disclosed because they don't want to spoil it for us. We will also be discussing job adjustments, both the PvE adjustments and the PvP adjustment. Then we'll discuss crafting system updates, the fishing updates, Sky Steel tools, which will come on patch 5.25 as well, the materia system changes, and ocean fishing. So as for miscellaneous updates, we'll have the introduction of a new type of tombstones, the allegory ones. There will be additional New Game Plus chapters, including the 24-man raids like Return to Ivalice questline, new courses in Leap of Fate, the fellowships can now be viewed in the companion app, and last but not least, umbrellas will be added. Yay. And now, my friends, may I introduce you the Cinder Drift, aka Ruby weapon for Final Fantasy VII players. Yoshida gave us a sneak peek at the fight where the Cinder Drift proceeded to hand him his rear end just to show him who's boss. I'll leave you with a couple of pictures so you can enjoy the design. Now on job adjustments. There'll not be much work done in this department. The biggest change will probably be the Red Mage's buff, as its DPS is the lowest one currently. And Summoner will have his dots nerfed because it was made too powerful. That's right, they're on to you Summoners. Now going back to the Red Mage here for a bit, Fleshy, for example, will be buffed, and the drop off of some spells will be removed as well. As for the Samurai, the meditation stacks will be displayed in your UI now, as they were hard to see before. As far as PvP adjustments, we will have some adjustments to the Warriors home game. The Monk will be adjusted in general, and the Dancer will be nerfed, as it was extremely overpowered in PvP. They also stated that they want to use the Summoner as a base for the PvP balancing from this point on. Now on to the new Beast Tribe. Their name is the Qatari. They exist in the Raktika Greatwood, and their presence will be explained in their storyline. You will need to be a 70+ disciple of the land in order to access this Beast Tribe's quest. As I just mentioned, this will be a gathering Beast Tribe, and there will be a point in the story where you'll have a choice in the direction you want to take this Beast Tribe. Now remember, whatever you choose, you won't be able to see the other side's rewards or story. So I advise you to choose wisely, Warriors of Light. And we did get a sneak peek at the new V-Stripe mount, and it's definitely some curious stuff. It kind of looks like the Great Serpent of Ronkan went in to get a beer and instead drank the whole barrel, got stuck in it, and we get to ride this drunken disaster. I, for one, am on board with this. They will also be adding new courses to the Leap of Faith, so there will be more ways for us to fail and embarrass ourselves. Oh joy. Also, we do got some screenshots of what those places look like, and let me tell you guys, it looks really good. The new raid tier will be Eden's Verse, and we will be counting on the presence of Gaia. We do have screenshots showing the new Ramu design. This looks amazing, actually. The design is top notch. Also, you can totally fall off that arena, so be careful. We do have screenshots of some of the mechanics that we will be facing, and I assume that this is Ramu normal, but not much can be discerned at this time. We do see some Final Fantasy X rods out there in the arena, and just a few seconds later there's gonna be a bunch of orbs that will cover pretty much the entirety of the arena. They also hinted at the presence of Garuda and Ifrit, so we'll definitely have more information at a later time. Also, we don't know exactly which floor Ramu is going to be in, so they didn't want to spoil that for us. Another thing about the raid mechanics is that since they did all the adjustments to the new classes on the last tier, this time they will have time to dedicate themselves into the fight, or better yet, the design of the fight, as in mechanics, the way it looks, everything. So now they'll be looking to add layers to the mechanics, and also they did say that there will be new mechanics that are going to be introduced in this tier that have never been seen before. So look forward to it, and let's have some fun. Now on to ocean fishing. So this content is designed to fill your day when it gets slow and you want to enjoy your time before raid and after dailies. You can get on this boat as a level 1 fisher, and the NPC to board said boat is located in Limsa Lominsa docks. The times for this event will be every 2 hours in real time, and you can board the ship in 15 minutes. The 2 fishing grounds will be Costa del Sol and the Sea of Dravania Highlands, because Yoshida did not remember the name. The route will have 3 different fishing spots where everyone will be fishing as they pass. If one of the people in the boat meets the requirements for the big catch, then the entire party that is aboard that ship will have a chance of bringing a big haul as well. This will promote teamwork and actually giving a chance to the low level fishermen to get some EXP in case they catch it. Now the team worked hard on this piece of content, and the trip should last you around 30 minutes. Like I said before, you'll have 15 minutes to reach the NPC and the ship, and it will leave once it has 24 people on board. You can queue for this as a party, and they even suggested as an FC, so you could see who's the best fisherman, or you could even do an FC against another FC on the same boat, see who can score more points. Now you can leave this instance at any time and you will not be penalized for it. At the end of the fishing trip, all the points will be tallied and you will have your score much like you have it at the end of each PvP match, but with different categories. The way the time frame works is you'll have around 7 minutes per spot, and you'll have 3 spots per trip. This is a system that has been implemented, and it will be built upon as time goes on. However, it is good content to use as a guild event or to take out with your fellowship. And since you can enter the ship as level 1, this might actually be a good way to level your fishermen. You start up by showing us pictures of fish prints for the housing, so I'm going to assume this is a new housing item that they're offering. And then some pictures of the new raid gear. So first picture here, we got the tank, then a dragoon, a samurai, range DPS, ninja, healer, caster gear, and these last two pictures are crafted gear, and I would assume that this would be physical range DPS there. For the Ishgarden restoration, this patch is where the real work begins. They start off saying that the gatherers will have a much more important role on the restoration, as last patch they basically took a background seat to it. They also addressed the design flaws of the first reiteration of the restoration, when people had the ability to go complete the quests in another world, creating congestion and leaving people that are native from that world outside of the instance. Now for the diadem. So as it was mentioned before, this is now an instance for gathering, where it is a peaceful realm where mobs do actually exist, but they will not aggro on you. Some of the materials you will need to complete your quests within the restoration can only be gathered in the diadem, which will give the gatherers a much more important role as opposite to what happened on 5.1. The way it works, there will be a gauge that will fill up as you gather. When it's full, it allows you to kill mobs that live within. These mobs are materials that you need to take back with you when you finish your gathering session. So when the gauge is full, you will be able to fire a laser cannon, and that will basically kill the mobs that you need. The drops from mobs will differ from each other, so you might ending up having to look for a specific type of mob to get a specific material. In order to enter the diadem, you need to be level 17 plus of a gathering. It could be anything from a botanist to fisherman. There will be a new mount that you can obtain from the firmament. This one looks like kind of a giraffe, so look forward to that one. And as we speaking on the firmament, let's go back a little and let's talk about the new NPC that exists there. This NPC will supply you with scratch off tickets. These will give you random rewards, but you'll have two different sides on your ticket. The right side will be more risky but with higher rewards, and the left side will be the safest bet. You can also get a new emote called Eating Bread from the tickets, and a new prism, and finally a new glam from the restoration as well. The rewards will be implemented in patch 5.21 about 3 weeks after 5.2. And introducing the Sky Steel tools. So this will be a new series of quests that will be serving the purpose to upgrade your crafting tools. Only your primary hand. Your secondary hand will not be upgraded through these quests, which is kind of a segue to the new Relic quest series. This will be focused on the area of Barza, which should probably butcher this, but whatever, which is currently controlled by the legatus Noah van Gebrand, which could be a descendant of Judge Gebrand, which was the twin brother of Captain Bosch von Russenberg from Final Fantasy XII. We will be joining forces with the Resistance and trying to break the control of the Imperial Legion on that area. This will be closely connected with Rotgar and Gunbreakers. And in order to access this content, you will have to finish the Return to Ivalice questline. So if you haven't already, I advise you to finish it before it drops, which will be happening on patch 5.25, where you focus on the story to obtain your base weapon, and then the story will continue on 5.35 as the field instance. So in Eureka, the storyline and the weapon upgrades are directly connected. This time, these two areas are not as closely related to each other as Eureka was. However, there's going to be some characteristics that the Relic quest line and the areas will share with Eureka, but bear in mind that will not be the same. The areas of the new Relic quest line that would share some of the characteristics, an exploratory area for instance, will not be implemented until 5.35. And for the time being, once it drops on 5.25, that story will focus on getting the base weapon only. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we arrive at the very important umbrella. They will be added in the future, and you will be able to access your umbrella from the extra section of your actions. But when more umbrellas will be added, there will be a special menu called Parasol. It's kind of like your mount menu. What they do is they cast a shadow and protect your character from getting wet. You cannot fight mobs while holding it because an umbrella uses the data in the same way as a mount does. So when you put an umbrella on, it's like you're on a mount. But not. It makes sense if you don't think about it. This is something they've been talking about adding for 3 years now, and this is the first time we actually see it in World. And you will receive them as rewards for completing content. Now, last but not least, you will no longer be able to convert gear onto materia. Instead, it will reset the spirit bomb and you'll be able to keep the item. Also, damage materia will be adjusted, and Yoshida did advise us to sell what we are hoarding. Due to some abuse from bots, they will be fixing the price of demi materia on the vendor. So guys, if you reached this point on this video, I really appreciate you sticking around and listening to all of this good stuff. And this is gonna be it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next one, peace out.